Hi, good afternoon, my loves. I hope you guys are okay. I know it's been a while. Not really a while, it's been a couple of days, okay? I need this recharge, I need this break. I have a bunch of messages for you guys, so forgive me if I'm flooding your timeline this evening and tomorrow. There's a lot, but there's a couple that I want to get out right now. This one is very, very, very important, okay? This was a dream that I had 2 days ago. And, God really confirmed it when I got up, and it's relating to an enemy, okay? First, this is for someone, okay? This person that's your enemy is extremely close to you. And here's why. So in the dream, there was some type of barbecue, some type of gathering. There was a lot of people there. Not like a lot. I would say most probably like 7 or 8 people, right? And everybody was chilling. Everybody was hanging out. I was there too. And then on top of that, there was someone that was your next door neighbor. So they did not live exactly next door, but they lived 2 doors down. So they're still kind of your neighbor in a way. When I saw that part of the dream and I saw they lived 2 doors down, what I took from this dream is that maybe they are really your neighbor, like they live 2 doors down, or they're your neighbor as in your neighbor, someone that's close to you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, how the Bible says, be nice to your neighbor and all of that. You know what I mean? So someone close to you. But anyways, we were having a good time and stuff like that. And I noticed that you had a friend who was the neighbor, obviously, and she had a boyfriend. Okay. And the way she was talking to her boyfriend, it's like she was extremely abusive, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. And then what happened at this barbecue was they actually got into an argument, her and her boyfriend, and she ended up pushing her boyfriend. So what I saw from that basically was that this person is very aggressive. Even in relationships, she's the abuser, she's the aggressor in the relationships, right? And I feel like this is something you'll notice. Like, I'm giving you clues as to what this person's personality is like to kind of hint to you who this person is. And they're close to you. They're so close to you that you invite them to your home, okay? And they come to barbecues, they come to gatherings, etc. So it can be your family, right? Because a neighbor doesn't literally have to be your neighbor, right? So yeah, she was, from what I saw, she was an aggressive person, and she was like the alpha male in her relationship. So that's something you'll notice about this female. So she pushed her boyfriend, and he ended up hitting his head on the fence, right? And I didn't like that. When I saw that, I stuck up for him, and I was like, how can you do this at your friend's house? It's very disrespectful to start an argument and a fight here. And then I ended up calling the ambulance, right? But it's kind of like you were used to it. It's like you knew that this is the kind of person she is. So when that happened, it didn't like really phase you. It was kind of like you looked at like, okay, this is the normal her, right? So after I called the ambulance came and took the boyfriend to the hospital. And then I was asking the ambulance to take her too. I'm like, take her too. Don't leave her here. Cause I'm like, I don't tolerate no negativity. I don't want to be here if there's negativity, right? And thank you for inviting me over, by the way. I don't know how I got there. But they didn't end up taking her, right? So she ended up coming back in the house. And I noticed when she came back in the house, she was sitting in your living room area. So this is what's going to be a big sign for you, okay? Because I feel like when you guys kind of sit in the living room area and you guys have discussions in the living room area, that's like the place where you guys always kind of like gather together, you and her, and you have your little moments, right? But I couldn't help but notice that the way she was eyeing you down in the living room area. Like, so when she came back in the house, because she walked with him to the ambulance and then she came back in, she was giving you a lot of like evil eye. It was kind of like, and I this is something that you probably noticed, but you kind of looked past. And me just being the outsider, of course, because I don't have a relationship with her, and I'm aware that I'm dreaming, and I'm aware that I have to collect information to to give someone. So I'm very alert in the dream. So I'm kind of like, okay, Stephanie, pay attention to all the details, And as I'm watching her, she was giving you these kind of like looks that I feel like you were kind of brushing off. Like, she's been very, very much envious of you, okay? Here's the big thing now. So you said something to her relating to the relationship and relating to how her aggression. I feel like you were really just trying to be a good friend and really just talking to her about like, hey, you should be doing stuff like that, And you know what this girl did? This girl took something and tried to slice your face, like right here. She tried to slice your face. Everybody knows from growing up, when people are ready to go fight and ready to go square up, there's always that one girl that says, oh, I'm going to razor blade someone's face. Do you get what I'm saying? And I always saw that growing up as like a punk thing. Like, why would you do something like that, you know? So when she did that in the dream, guess what happened? You never actually had a mark. Like, you never got cut. She didn't cut you. She wasn't able to cut you. And she used a sharp blade and she wasn't able to cut you. But she tried so hard to give you like a across your face, and for some reason it didn't cut you. That was God's grace, why it didn't cut you. When she did that, you looked in the mirror and there was only like a red mark. You know when you hit your, like you scrape your hand on something, you know, and it's like it doesn't cut you, your skin's not peeled off, but it's a little red mark, which is something that's very healable, like something that can heal very quickly. That's all that was on your face, was like a red mark. And you're like, oh my God, thank God she didn't cut me. And you're looking in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, did you see what happened? I'm like, yeah, I saw it. And then, you know what's so strange? So the boyfriend went inside the ambulance, right? And he was supposed to be long gone. For some reason, when that incident happened, he wasn't there. But as soon as you looked in the mirror and saw the red mark, he was sitting on the couch and he was there. And I'm like, what the heck? But he was observing. Do you get what I'm saying? And he didn't have no bruise on his head. Because remember, when he left, he had a big cut on his head. But when he was sitting on the couch, there was no cut. He was observing. So this is something that I feel like this party, I feel like you're close to this person and she may have someone, a boyfriend or a brother that you're close with too. And she's very aggressive. And the reason why the blade did not cut you is because you were covered by God's grace. The reason why she aimed for your face is this female is extremely jealous of your appearance. She's extremely jealous of your appearance, and it's like she can't stand being around you, but at the same time she wants to be around you. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like there's a reason why she's around you. She's connected to you in that way. There's something in it for her. Do you get what I'm saying? And God is giving you a warning right now and saying, take heed of this warning. And if this is you and this is your friend, to remove your friend, because this friend is so envious to the point where she would literally put a cut on your face if she could. So it's not that she's gonna do it physically, but she has that type of evilness in her. She has that type of mentality. For someone to even think, that means that that's something she thinks about. For those who don't understand the dream state, most of the times in the dream state, people will do the things that they would not normally do in the physical. It's things that they wish they would do. They would end up manifesting it in the dream state. Okay, it's kind of like, imagine you wish you can rob a bank and get away with it or whatever in the physical, but you know you'd never do that. You know, God forgive me for using that example. I don't know why that came to my head. Okay, and but in the dream state, it's kind of like it's something that you would do, knowing that, because you know it's a dream and you know you can get away with it. You get what I'm saying? So that friend was really showing her true colors in the dream. Although you always knew she was aggressive, an aggressive type of person, this is the kind of stuff that she thinks. Okay, and here's why I'm telling you this, because 2 years ago, I think it was 2019, right, God revealed to me that one of my cousins was actually thinking about throwing acid in my face. Like, she wouldn't really do it, but he was showing me that that the thoughts were in her head, right? Do you get what I'm saying? That he would reveal it to me, like, hey, this is the kind of heart that she has. If she has this kind of heart, even though she may not do it, if she's thinking about doing it, you want to stay clear of her. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you don't know what she can do. So this female, she wasn't able to cut your face because you are covered by the grace of God. Hallelujah. You are covered by the grace of God, okay? But God is saying you gotta stay clear of her, because if she has these types of motives and thoughts in her head, you can only imagine what else she's thinking about doing. Some people, because they can't physically touch you, because they know they can go to jail, they know there's going to be consequences, and they don't want to ruin their lives, they will do things behind the scenes. Like, basically they will do things behind the scenes to keep their hands clean. They will do black magic and spells and all that, because they know physically they can't harm you. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that she's doing that, but what I'm saying is that she has this type of thoughts to think about doing something like that. You can only imagine what else she's doing. So these details, you will know by putting the pieces together if this is for you. Stay clear of this person, okay? Because you don't, God doesn't want you to get yourself involved with this, okay? I love you guys. On to the next message. Bye.